If he wanted to, he would. Listen to me. The guy I'm with right now, I met him when I was going through my divorce. I was married for 5 years, and I literally believed I would never be loved again. I'm not worthy of being loved. I literally was a mess. And I met this guy, okay? And he's been trying to take me out on all these dates, and I was just, no, I'm not ready. And I'm like,
You mean the guy was begging you to take you out? Oh.
just text him. I was so sad, but I just had this feeling like, this guy you need in your life. And that's what I said. And so I sent him a text message, and I go, hey, I think I just need you in my life. He responds with the restaurant he's taking me to and the time he's picking me up in the day. And he picks me up and we go on the date like that next weekend. And he lives 2 hours away. So he drove 2 hours, took me on the date, dropped me off, and drove 2 hours back home. From then on, he never missed a weekend. Every single weekend, he would come up and see me. 2 hours, drive 2 hours to me every single weekend and see me. One night, I was feeling really sad about like stuff I was going through. I was just super emotional. I was like, I need to go to Target, as we do, and I need to cry in the parking lot. I don't even need anything. I just can't be around him because I just feel, I don't know, like embarrassed. So
Let's back it up for a second. If he wanted to, he would. So this guy is doing whatever he's doing, and you're offloading this emotional baggage that you have from your prior marriage that didn't work, and this guy is just there for you through this sadness that you're going through, and what we have to show for it. Yes, quite okay, you would say if he wanted to, he would. Let's say he did that. How does that serve him in the long run? What will happen when you heal? You probably won't even date you or continue going out with him, or you cheat on him. Despite him being there for you in your rough times, guess what? Once you heal, it's not gonna be there. You're gonna drop it.
I ended up telling him like, hey, I'm going to Target, like, do you need anything? He's like, oh no, I'll come with you, like just being sweet. I'm like, oh no, it's really okay. And he's like, no, I'll come with. I go, okay. I go to the Target parking lot, and I'm like, my heart's beating on the way there. I'm like, I just want to cry. And we get in the parking lot. I go, I literally don't need anything. I just was coming here because I have a lot on my mind, and I just don't want to put that on you. Like, you don't deserve that. I start sobbing. This guy starts crying next to me, sobbing, and he holds my face like this. And he's like, you are worth it, and you deserve so much. And he's crying.
Why was the guy crying again?
While this is happening. And he's like, I just want to be around for the day that you see your worth. And he's like, so you don't need anything in Target? Like, we keep talking. I'm like, no. And he's like, okay, I'll be right back. Goes in Target, gets me Ben and Jerry's, comes back to the car. He's like, let's go home. I go, okay. I'm like, so what's happening? Right? And then we go home, and I eat the entire carton of Ben and Jerry's while he like rubs my back, and I pass out. And it's just sweet because he writes me letters all the time, and I just got a letter from him that was so sweet. Like, at the end of it, it was like, P.S. I told you that you would see your worth. Just like, what?
You know how people say if you wanted to, he would? Here's the proof. I am getting ready right now to go and hang out with my girlfriends. It is a girls' night. We are going to have cutesy little fall-themed drinks. We are baking fall goods. It's going to be great. Just us, none of our men allowed. And I take a lot of time getting ready because I have ADHD and I get distracted sometimes. And I hear noises coming from the kitchen. And I'm like, I walk in. I'm like, Philip, what are you doing? Philip is my boyfriend. And he's like, oh, well, you said you wanted to bring fall snacks. To your thing, and I realized that you were doing things and getting ready, and you might not be able to do this. So he started baking. The man is in the kitchen right now, and he's baking fall things for me to take over to my girlfriends. And like, for all of you guys being like, oh my god, where do you find men like this? The answer is nerds. I can concur. It's nerds. Find yourself a nerd. He loves watching marble racing.
Did you hear what she said? So they are actually even categorized in the kind of guys that he will fall into. If he wanted to, he would. But what if in a situation where you are expectant that your guy will act in a certain way, then he doesn't? Does that apply that if he wanted to, he would? Then you conclude to say he didn't, so there won't be a relationship there. Just trying to find out how, like, the whole if you wanted to, you would delusion, how that will fit in. Because sometimes you'll be much expectant of a certain reaction or action from your boyfriend or your husband, and if he doesn't do it, if you wanted to, you would.
Here are 3 reasons why if he wanted to, he would is the worst dating advice you could ever hear based on psychology. 1, it's an oversimplification of human behavior. If only humans were as simple as one blanketed statement. The thing is, human behavior is influenced by a multitude of things. There's attachment styles, there's past traumas, there's childhood developmental wounds. By using one sentence of, well, if he wanted to, he would, you are chalking up all of these nuances into a very black and white statement, which then also would imply that you're not good enough, because if he really wanted you, this person would go after you. So why are you taking away from them and yourself? 2, it's a lack of empathy and understanding. They are struggling with a lot of anxiety. There are fears, vulnerabilities, there's fear of intimacy. We don't know what other people are going through. And yes, those could absolutely impede in somebody fully showing up and being present in a relationship. Even if someone might think or know that they want a relationship, doesn't mean that they have the bandwidth in order to be in one. Because, spoiler alert, it's not just hanging out that makes a really good relationship. So if somebody was never taught how to communicate effectively, even though they might really want that kind of connection, they don't even know where to begin to get one. And 3, it totally disregards different people's kinds of communication skills. Communication is literally everything. And if you are going to chalk up someone's behavior and think that's sufficient amount of information to now deduce that they must just not want this, then it really shows that you're not actually communicating with these people. Instead, you're making assumptions. People evolve at different stages, and for some, they really do want to go slow. I didn't want to rush into a relationship with my now boyfriend because I wanted to make sure that he was really somebody that was for me, so I didn't end up 6 months down the road being like, oh, damn, another one that didn't work. So stop using this blanketed statement. It is not helping you. It is not serving your dating.
When a guy actually likes you, he will literally move every single cubicle out of the way. You don't have to do anything.
Right.
Men are not hard. It's like if they want something, they'll literally let you know.
I know.
So if you're feeling confused or lost, it's
for a
because they
reason.
don't want you.
3 things I wish somebody would have told me before I started dating. If he wants to, he will. You ain't gotta ask too much of nobody that is willing to do it before you even ask. Yes, communicate your needs.
Yes, how many people have done that? How many people have done stuff for you? Some they've even sipped their way through to you, and yeah, probably not married now. So the whole thing, if you wanted to, you would. It's just another way to get most of the men to submit. Once they submit, you move on. You're like, oh, you submitted to me. You're not man enough.
But we don't beg. And number 2, if he plays in your face once, he gonna do it again. And again and again and again. Yes, people can change, but you can change for someone else. Because by the time you start doing that, I'm already gone. And number 3, pay attention to your own toxic ways. You can't expect a perfect relationship, even though there's no such thing, if you the one messing it up. Grow up before you start dating.